Good morning, Karyn Crisis here. And some of you have asked about my podcast radio show. I've been taking a little bit of a break from that. But if you wanted to go back and listen to any of the shows that are archived there, you can just go to blogtalkradio.com/Karyn Crisis, and you'll be able to find the ancient ways for modern times and all the subject matter there. In the meanwhile, I've decided to do some of these shorter video segments for you so I can get some of the subject matter out there in a more digestible way. Regardless of whatever avenue I use, I have a lot of interesting subjects coming up. So some of the other subject matter that I have coming up for you will be topics like considering the body as an altar upon which your soul gives us offerings to help us awaken in this earthly life. Someone else asked me how I feel about scrying mirrors and some of the other psychic tools out there, so there'll be an episode about that. I'd also like to discuss, was Jesus a witch? What does that mean? And offer some historical evidence to support that idea. And also some of the mixed messages out there about mediumship. But all of this information comes to me from my different types of spirit guides. And that will also be another subject matter to understand the different types of guides out there, which ones are specific to you, which ones are more there to help everyone as a human body. And we'll go into that subject matter in another podcast. So as I've mentioned before, this information comes to me from my spirit guides, and the information they like to convey is about how we as human beings are built to receive all of this information seen and unseen. So we don't have to wait for supernatural experiences to happen to us, that we can enter into a dialogue with the universe and consciousness that's no longer in a physical body on a daily basis, that we were built to do that this is a natural function of being a human being. And we already use some of these senses naturally when we discern our friends' emotions or when we have feelings about how maybe the day is not going to go right. But all of this information they're giving me for myself and to share with you is about not putting our power outside of ourselves, about how we can use it. Along those lines of empowering ourselves with opening a dialogue with the universe instead of waiting for these things to happen to us, I wanted to talk today a little bit about the idea of awareness. The readings that I've been doing for people privately lately have all about this idea of awareness, so I figured I would share this here. So awareness is something that we have, it's in operation every day, it's like naturally functioning, but we don't always think about it as having a value so much. We take it for granted. You know, we wake up and we are aware of how we feel, or we notice how the day is going, and depending on where we place our awareness, passively or actively, our day tends to agree with whatever our awareness is focused on. So perhaps if we're having a bad day, we become so aware of how bad the day is, and we think that we are just subject to having to deal with that bad day. Maybe we're having a good day and we're noticing how magical the day is, and we think that, this is just happening to us, that we're not necessarily playing a part in making this day happen. So I'd like to step back from this kind of an idea here and think of our awareness as something that's like a currency. You take a dollar bill and you take it to the store and you exchange it for a bottle of water. If we were to think about awareness as something that we could use as a currency that we have some amount of control over, we could find that our day falls in line with wherever it is we're putting our awareness. So if we think about our awareness as something that has a value to it, we can begin to think of, okay, how can I take control of this value and use it for my benefit, or to flow with it naturally, to make a little bit more peace with it? So let's take the idea that you already are exactly where you need to be in your day and in your body and in your life, and then begin to use your awareness as something that's a tool for you to navigate your day and to come to a greater understanding about what's going on in your world. A lot of us, again, just take our awareness for granted. We become aware of just what's around us, and we think that, well, this is all my day has to offer, or, wow, this day is really spectacular. Why doesn't it happen like this all the time? So the idea here is to start thinking of awareness as a currency. So if you wake up in the morning, of course, be aware of how you feel emotionally, where your thoughts are taking you, and then begin to make a decision of how you're going to use that as a currency. How do you want to spend your time? Because life is short and time on the physical planet is limited. So how do you want to use that time? Awareness is one of those things that you can use to begin to open up your world beyond what you already think is just there in this physical, finite reality. So again, back to this idea of awareness as a currency. We know that every day we are bombarded by a lot of information, whether it's other people around us on public transportation or opening up the internet or the news channel and seeing all this like new diseases popping up and political unrest and all sorts of things that press our fear buttons. Of course, we can't live in a denial of what's happening in this world because we're living in this world, but we do have a choice over how we're going to focus our attention, how we're going to appreciate the value of our awareness throughout our day. So one thing we can do, which a lot of us do, is we get all upset about this news that's invading what we want it to be our happy day, right? And we start feeling this news and this negativity and this disease and the war and all the negative things happening, and we feel it sort of building this giant world inside of us. And everywhere we look, suddenly there is evidence of the world going down the tubes. But if we were to take our awareness as a currency, as a value, as something that we can use like a magnifying glass to illuminate what else is available in the world, well, we can apply it to something political and say, okay, if I get angry about something that's happening politically in the world and all I do is express my anger on it, if I place my awareness on that, what am I really doing for myself? Am I just getting angry by reposting a news article about something negative that happened? And by doing that, am I just inflaming the anger of someone else? And am I really engaging with what I'm angry about? What if you were to use your awareness to dig a little bit deeper and to be aware of what happens when you make that action of focusing on that negative political idea? Do you just lash out in anger? Do you want other people to just get angry with you? What if you were to use your awareness to get to the root of what you're angry about? Is it that other people are being mistreated? And if you were to use your awareness to dig a little deeper into this feeling of yours, you might be able to have your awareness be a tool that connects you a little bit more deeply to the signs, symbols, and signals of what life has to offer you. So if you say, well, I'm not going to just get angry at the world, and I'm not just going to get angry because the news wants me to get angry. What if I get angry about where I am in my life and use that anger to propel you somewhere new? So with something political, you can decide that by just getting angry and inciting anger in other people, am I really solving the problem? By passing these news articles around, am I really offering a solution? That solution is so far removed for you by just kind of getting angry. What if you were to take your awareness to somewhere positive? So if you're to take this anger that you're feeling towards things that are happening out in the world that feel out of your control, that are harming other people maybe with violence or something physical, and to focus on what you can do to change things, that's you. You are your own business. You can change what's within you. If you use your awareness to focus on what it is you're angry about, oh, the other people are getting mistreated, and try to change that into something positive that offers a solution, you could do something by starting your day by telling the universe, I would like to be more aware of how I can connect to other people, how I can bridge the gaps between differences, how I can build bridges, and how I can open this dialogue where I have opportunities to give kindness to people who may be complete strangers. Not, of course, going out there and demanding that other people hear your worldview about things and pushing your beliefs onto somebody else, but to opening up your world in a positive way. Instead of having all your fear and anger buttons pushed about the world around you falling apart, what if you take it to your inner world and decide to nurture and let that grow in the way that you connect to other people? And then from there, once you kind of decide what the ways are that you want to connect to other people, or what you may have to offer in the realm of unconditional love or acceptance, or maybe you have the gift of gab and someone needs to just have you listen to them, then you can start to look at the political changes and the political problems around you in a different light. And maybe you can realize that engaging with people on a one-on-one basis is the way that you can make profound change in your life. And using your awareness as a tool of, again, starting that day, saying, okay, my day is going to be a school. Universe, I'm going to use my awareness to understand why I'm so upset about this political upheaval, why I feel like the world is out of my control, and how I can gain some control on raising a positive solution in my personal life. And ask the universe to help you all along the way, perhaps connect you to other people from different cultures that you can open a positive dialogue with, or just being able to see some positive things going on in the world despite what the news is telling you. You can use your awareness as like a magnifying glass that takes you deeper and deeper into yourself to understand why you're having emotional responses to things, and to create a solution based on affirming something positive to come out of that, instead of just taking up arms and anger against a cause that is far removed from your own neighborhood, from your bedroom, for your personal body, and taking it into a personal level, first within yourself to analyze what's going on there, and then trying to use it to enhance positive relations with people around you. You know, the microcosm and the macrocosm aspect. Another way you could use your awareness is to wake up every day if you have an illness, and to consider that your illness or your disease is trying to tell you something about you. Your experience maybe with your illness or your disease that doctors can't find a solution, that you can't seem to find anything that works, that nobody's listening to you or understanding you. Well, maybe your illness or your disease is trying to get you to bring awareness to your inner world, some part of yourself that needs some attention and love from you. Not as any fault of your own, but it's at the other side of this illness or disease is a strength that you have waiting to come out. So your illness or disease is trying to get you to bring your awareness to your inner world and decide and to figure out what it is that you need to nurture and let grow as a plant with a little bit of love and self-care. So if you were to start your day with awareness as a magnifying glass about you, you know, why am I feeling so disconnected from my body, like it's working against me? It's my friend. I'm supposed to be in it for this life. So universe, what if I ask you to give me information about how I can reconnect with myself, with my emotions, with my thoughts, with my physical body that's supposed to be like my car out there to drive me out in the world to get experiences? And what kind of wealth of information can you find if you open up your awareness in this way to sort of open up those inner stores of strength and knowledge and wisdom that you have within you? By using your awareness to do that, all along the day you may find news articles that have some helpful information. You may be able to become aware of how your body responds to certain foods. You may notice around certain people you feel really happy, and around certain people you feel sort of drained. And this is all symbols and signs and signals of your inner world, your eternal soul that knows a lot more than our earthly personality does, that's very limited, trying to tell you, I'm calling you to go within, to learn how to trust yourself more, to bring your awareness to all of these tools that you have that are telling you, this person isn't right for me, this job is really great for me, this hope and dream is something that makes me happy, and this one is not. So it's a way of becoming aware of how your body, your mind, your emotions, and your spirit all work together by opening up your awareness. So again, these are just some simple ideas that you can use, and you can get much more detailed with them about considering your awareness is something that you can use with intention, and you can sort of declare when you wake up in the morning to the universe, I want to use my awareness to receive some information about myself. And as you dig deeper into yourself by receiving this information through signs, symbols, people, news articles, books out there, your whole world begins to open up, and you start seeing the abundance there and all the endless possibilities of getting more information about you and how to trust yourself and your intuition and your physical five senses, but also your unseen senses that are connecting you to the world of the unseen. It's possible for everyone to do. So just give it a try. You've got nothing to lose. Consider that you're the Captain Kirk of your own Starship Enterprise, and that your body is your Starship Enterprise. And as you navigate your day in this life, that your awareness is one of those diagnostic tools you can use. It shows you what you're putting your attention onto and what you're spending your awareness on. And it also gives you the opportunity to use it as like a knob or a fine-tuning dial to decide what you're going to be open to receiving with your awareness. So it's a channel that works both ways. You've got nothing to lose. You can give it a try and see how your world might open up. It's a matter of just inviting that dialogue with the universe to come in. And with your awareness, that's one of the things that we all use most passively. So there's the greatest potential to use it creatively. So I'll wish you the best with that, and I wish you a good day. Thanks for joining me.